Alright, y'all, so what is my overall thoughts on Power Rangers going original from now on? And personally, I think it's a good thing because I feel like so many years of using Sentai footage, some can be goofy and some could be useful in certain moments. I mean, there are times where I feel like, okay, maybe you shouldn't add that into a scene in Power Rangers. You could just edit certain stuff out, in terms of having errors. Like, look at Super Mega Force, for example, when Orion was using all of the 6 Ranger keys and they all just turned yellow all of a sudden, instead of just having multiple colors from each 6 Ranger. I mean, that was one of the biggest errors in history. At the same time, when you look at it like that, nowadays, you barely see any old Sentai footage. It's mostly original stuff, but using less Japanese footage, just to balance it out, like how Jungle Fury did. They used like a little bit of Sentai footage, but ended up using original for the most part, and I say it's a good thing. But the pacing of the show was a bit off in my honest opinion though, but at the same time, that's how Jungle Fury was, how it started and how it ended. But when the Neo Saban era started, it was just a mess. Because I personally feel like the amount of Sentai footage was used in that show, it was all copy paste and it was just bad in my honest opinion. I mean, Megaforce, I don't even want to talk about it because that was like a complete letdown and the biggest FU to the fans that grew up with it. That's supposed to be the so-called 20th anniversary, but instead ended up celebrating Rangers that were not brought into America in 1993. So I think what Hasbro is doing is going all original and just going all out. Just try to be more creative at the same time. Just do your own thing. Do what you want to do with the show. Especially with the fight scenes and the martial arts. Just giving blows to the face instead of having the body parts all the time. Because I think that's what really made Power Rangers nowadays more watchable because of the martial arts, and it's really important to have those fight scenes in that show and film as well, because without the martial arts it'll become pretty boring and it'll become too irritated to have no fight scenes in Power Rangers if you're going to develop characters. I get it, but you gotta remember that martial arts is one of the biggest key elements in any franchise history, so always have that. And it looks like with Cosmic Fury, they're going to end up going all out with the martial arts and with the originality, even though they're adapting Kyuranger in the Megazord battles, which is, I find nothing wrong with it personally. And so I was watching Dawson Ryder's video on him still talking about the suit still. And there are many people are still butthurt about them not using the Kyuranger suits in Cosmic Fury, knowing that Simon Bennett just said, and those were his decisions, that he does not want to use the Kyuranger helmets and the suits, because when you think about it, the Kyuranger suits, I feel as if they're a bit too busy, to be honest with you. I get it, some people like them, but I never did. Especially the Yellow Ranger suit. That pointy helmet, like, what is that? So I cannot take any Ranger seriously with that kind of helmet design like that. So I'm curious to know how they're going to handle Amelia and Ions. Because Ion can be a Gold Ranger, whatever. He can pilot the Gold Ranger Zord and Kyuranger, and Amelia can just pilot whatever she's pilot in Kyuranger, one of the Zords from that series. So I am curious to know how they're going to do that. Basically, we really don't know what's going to happen when the show comes out. The only thing we can do is just watch and see what they can do for us. And so, honestly, I'm just tired of hearing about the suits. Honestly, who cares about the suit? Like, I'm tired of hearing about it. I go on Twitter, that's all I hear is people complaining and whining about the suits. I'm like, can y'all just talk about something else? What's done is done. There's nothing you could do. You don't work for Hasbro. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So y'all need to just stop with the cap. Stop crying about the suit. Stop crying about, what's going to happen 5 years from now. Whatever business decisions they make, it's that. Ain't nothing we can do. Because right now, Power Rangers in 2023 is going in a good direction. And I think what we need to do is take some consideration and appreciate the fact that what Hasbro is providing and what it's doing for us. A lot of us wanting change since forever. You get what I'm saying? Not everything has to stay the same. Then y'all go complaining about the 10 episode for a show. Mind you, he did say that even though they're doing 10 episodes for Cosmic Fury, it's less filler. So that means that it's going to be focused on important storytelling and a lot of good writing, a lot of freedom of doing filler episodes. That can also make sense as to why he's doing all of that. And I, for one, super supportive of that. I'm super supportive of them doing original stuff. You don't always have to rely on Super Sentai all the time. Like, sometimes you're going to have to go original and just do your own thing. Like, right now, you're at Netflix. And Netflix allows people to do whatever they want to do. Kids show or not. So, with Cosmic Fury, they're doing everything they can to give us what we want. Give us the best Power Ranger products. And I've just made 2 videos earlier about Hasbro and Paramount renewing their contract. So that means that they can just do whatever they want with the reboot with the Jonathan Entwistle's Power Ranger story. And not to mention, I hear someone say that they can go and contact Lionsgate to do a sequel of the god-awful 2017 Power Rangers movie. But I highly doubt that's going to happen. But to me, I don't want it to happen because what happened in that 2017 movie, it was a giant mess. It was a failure. So I could go on and on about that in my future videos of my thoughts on the 2017 once again and why I don't want it to be adapted in Hasbro and E1. Unless you're bringing in Tommy, then you should do it right. Change the suits, the Zords, and bring in more villains from the main Morphin Power Rangers series. Do it right. What happened in 2017, it was a mess. So, at the end of the day, what's done is done. Like, we're not working for Hasbro because when you're a part of the industry, you're going to have to just take it or leave it. Or you could just be creative and do your own thing. Cry about the suits all you want. But at the end of the day, 10 to 20 years from now, y'all going to end up forgetting about it. Y'all going to end up chasing Simon Bennett away from Twitter because y'all just keep crying and complaining about the suits not being used in Cosmic Fury. You don't like them using original suits with the Dino Fury helmets and the Cosmic Fury costumes inspired by Kyuranger. And if you look at Izzy's Morpher, it's being heavily influenced by Kyuranger. So apparently they're doing something right. Unless we watch the show for ourselves and see how it turns out, then you wouldn't have to complain about it. Just drop it, leave it alone, let it go, and move on with your life. That's basically what I would say. So I wanted to get that rant out of the way because I just think this fandom is so damn toxic to the point where there's so many people going to end up stop watching Power Rangers for good if certain things don't change within the fandom. Like, it's literally the obvious. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to check out my boy Erlam on original suits or original idea is the way to go. And personally, I kind of agree with what he says. So we're going to react to it all together. So you heard my 2 cents. So we're going to hear his 2 cents of what he's about to say. So shout out to you, Erlam. Here we go.
Right. Let's talk about this. Original footage in Power Rangers means a lot more for the brand moving forward, because now you are not in restraint. You can have your own storylines. You can do whatever you want. You could have the monsters of the day come in whenever you want to do. But now that you've got this, you've got Zord footage only, which means the entire, however long the episode's going to be, 22 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, it means that you can do so much more with that story than with anything else. And this is what Power Rangers has needed for a very, very long time. Now, don't get me wrong, adapting Sentai and having that is fine, but we've always stated that there's always restrictions when it comes on with, say, I don't know, adapting a storyline because the footage doesn't line up. Maybe Toei has turned around and said, you can't do this because you are using our footage. There's been lots of different rumors online. And again, with fans, it's been a huge thing. Look at how it gets adapted. Shinkenger and Samurai was pretty much a carbon copy, or Samurai was a carbon copy.
Yeah, and it turned out terrible, didn't it?
But people complained about it. When you do something original, people complain about it. It's just how this fandom works at times. But now you have an original team, an original suit, and you have original storylines, which means that you can move so much more in this and have a lot more like flexibility than saying, hey, I've got to stick with this, or hey, I've got to stick with that. And this is, I'm so excited, because
I am too.
Now that we've got this whole thing where we don't have to follow the Sentai rules or the Toei rules, we just use their fucking Zord footage. I feel like that works so much better and works better for the franchise, because you're free to tell what you want. You can write those storylines. You can do whatever you want to do. And I feel like this is making Power Rangers actually be a better brand, a better franchise. We've never seen the team go full creative, where we've had stuff with storylines of Lord Zed coming back and Skruzzle coming back, and then the whole RPM thing wrapping up, you know, in Beast Morphers wrapping up RPM. So now you have a point where it's just like, use your imaginations, go wild. Who knows? Like, we could have other Rangers just randomly pop in. We could have other people just randomly turn up. And Simon has mentioned that we're going to be seeing this with original villains, Lord Zed, friends and families, more villains just arriving. So I generally think we're going to see a lot more. And when thinking about this, this makes me to be excited, makes me want to go, I can't wait. And I generally can't wait until we see it. We could see a crossover, we could see with the 30th, that is, we could see it with so much stuff. And for me, I am super excited that it's all going to be original, and this is what the brand has needed for a very long time. Now, I know there are people out there who really don't want, really don't want this, and they want to see Kyuranger adapted because they use footage and stuff. But do you know what? From a fan that's been watching since the beginning, who has embraced, who's seen so much stuff happen in the fandom, literally read people's reviews, I can say thoughts then, but read their reviews, seen what they've been posting on all social media on how this is bland, how this is not working, how people work, and what they want to see.
That's what really annoyed me the most.
Now they can be super creative. Now they can turn around and say, hey, we couldn't do this originally, now we are. But one thing that I really liked what Simon said was he just turned around and went, yeah, we don't have to match certain locations that look like Sentai. We can do anything. Hell, they could go film it all around New Zealand now, because they don't have to have that restriction or the restrictions put on them by Toei, or at least by the footage. And they've been doing a fantastic job matching up different parts to make it look believable. And at times when I've seen people's reviews, or when I've talked to people, they're like, is that Sentai? Is this? They could literally go all around New Zealand now, do what they want, film what they want, because it's so different. And this what makes me really excited for the entire brand moving forward. It's only 10 episodes, which is a bit of a shame. I would like to see more. Maybe it gets extended. Maybe Cosmic Fury Season 2 drops down a bit more, whatever. But for now, for the 10 episodes, it's a bit bummer, but I would like to see a longer time. But I really can't wait to see all the locations that they do that they've never used. Some good ones we'll see, but I really can't wait to see. I thought I would just briefly talk about that. I'm super excited. I can't wait for Cosmic Fury. I really am. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments. And with that, I'll see you later.
Once again, shout out to Earl M for that video. And like I said before, you could just go original and do your own thing. You don't have to rely on Sentai footage all the time. Just to copy and paste what happened in the Sentai season, what happened in that show. You could just do your own thing. Just go TV 14 for once. You could just go all out with the fight scenes, you know, with some blows to the face and just be more edgy for a Power Ranger show. And when you think about it, kids don't really care about, you know, the PG nonsense. Like, you don't have to always be too childish for kid-oriented show. I mean, based on what I'm seeing from Cosmic Fury, it's going completely original. Much like how Super Sentai was with the edgy and the deep and dark storylines. You could do something like that with Cosmic Fury, you know, and think about how cool that would be if Fern, Izzy's girlfriend, came to RAFCON for the first time and she realizes that Izzy is the Green Ranger. They would have been way closer than before. I like what Erlem said. If you like what he said and what I said, in my honest opinion, please, by all means, let me know in the chat. I appreciate y'all for watching me, hearing me out, hearing my thoughts and opinions like I've always do. And you've always agreed. Even if you disagree, you know, let's talk about it. You know, without no drama and nonsense. But yeah, if y'all enjoy my reaction and my thoughts and opinions on this, let me know in the comments down below. And we're going to continue more on the future of this franchise going forward.